Hello! Welcome back to Violin with Kinley. Thanks for being here. This is beginner lesson 4. You made it. First, today I'm wearing my Sherwood Skateboards sweater. I love it so much. My cousin Jamie and his friend started this company in PEI. They make skateboards and cool merch. Personally, I am too scared to skateboard because I'm scared of breaking my wrists because I'm a little bit clumsy. But someday, it is my dream to be able to skateboard. I even have a skateboard, but I don't use it. Someday. Until then, I'll wear the merch. Okay, so we're going to take our violins out of our cases. Take it out. Put on our shoulder rest. If you have one, if you don't, you don't need it. They're a little tricky to figure out how to put them on. So they go like, it's just a rubber clasp that just fits on your violin. And you can make it longer and shorter with these things. But it goes this way. So if you're holding your violin upright, it's a frown. But it makes you smile because it fits in and it makes everything easier and more comfortable. Okay, now the bow. Turn it a couple. Oh, it might have been too much. I'm gonna test it right here. So if you can press a little pressure on it and it's still touching the strings, it might be too much. You can do it a little bit, it has some give, then you know you're good. Okay, rosin. Rosining up the bow. To make it smooth. Lovely. And I just tuned my violin, so I know it's in tune. If you haven't done that, feel free to pause the video and check your tuning with a tuning app or something. Or if you have a piano and you have a good ear, play the A. If it's the same, then you're good to go. All right. I do have to change my strings someday soon, so I will have a video where you change all the strings. Because there's an order that you should do them in and like which... Anyway, we'll get into that another day. Not for today. Today, we're going to work on our bow grip, our bow hold, so we don't have a claw hand. You don't want a claw. You want everything to be loose, loosey-goosey, like a jellyfish in the ocean. And we're also going to work on our violin hand. Our fingers on the violin. Okay, let's start with... I'm trying to make these lessons for all ages, young and old, so I have a childlike spirit. It's because I was born on January 18th. People always think that I'm way younger than I am, but I'm old. But I just love having fun. So, okay, we're going to make this fun. On your bow, we're going to have bunny ears. So if you can make a bunny ear, a bunny with your right hand, so your bow hand. So it's your thumb and your middle finger and your ring finger make a circle like this. And then you can put your ears up for the bunny for a minute. So if his eyes are eye, and a nose. And those are the ears. But for a bow hold, so this looks like Easter bunny with the ears up. Hop, hop, hop. But for a bow hold, we have a bunny with droopy ears. So his ears just fall down. Do you ever see a droopy ear bunny? They're adorable. Okay, so let's just keep our ears loose. So when your ears are tight, you can feel tension in your wrist. You don't want that. So relax the ears. It's much better. Speaking of animals, I have a little bite from my puppy. He keeps puppy biting me. Anyway, sorry about that. So we're going to take, let's just do that. Look left, look right. Left, right, up, down, up, and down. Keeping those ears loose. And it says yes, no. Shake it out. And do it again. Make that circle, ears up, and they relax down. And move left and right side. Bunny saying, no, I don't want to work today. But it's like, you love violin, don't you? Yeah, I do. Up and down. And shake it off. One more time. Circle. Ears up and they relax. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to grab our bow with our other hand and just hold it with the hair down. And hold it with your other hand halfway, like right in the middle. Like here. Remembering not to touch the hair, the magical hair, or it'll mess up your sound. Okay, we're just touching the bow, the stick, with your left hand. So now you're going to make your bunny ear with your right, and then you're going to put the bottom, your thumb, where it goes, right under there, and then the top, the bunny head, goes where that dot is. Most of you will have a dot. If not, it's just this part right here. And then the ears fall down, flopsy ears. The first finger goes there, but then this finger always stays curved. The baby finger, the pinky bunny. So hopefully, without it being really cramped, you should just be able to loosely put the bunny on the bow. And just make sure that this baby finger is staying on top. Like a point shoe of a ballerina stays on the floor while she twirls. So if you feel secure, you can let this hand go. And there we go. Perfect bow hold. Great work. To make sure that you have this fully in place and it feels secure, you can do a windshield wiper. So we're just going to flip from the wrist. Oh yeah. I call this a little finger push-up, bow push-up. But let's just go from the wrist, turn the wrist right and left. Right and left. Boom, you got it. So having this relaxed hand will help with your bowing, will make everything more beautiful and lush. Okay, now we're going to talk about the violin hand, your left hand, that part that touches the fingerboard. Makes all the notes. Cool. So remember when we talked about in your left hand making that V or that U that goes underneath the fingerboard right here, or like the neck? So right between your thumb and your first finger. Right there. Sometimes to remember that, to keep that space there, they call it a mouse hole. So you want to make sure that the mouse can still get into his hole. So you don't want to close it up, because if there's a piece of cheese in the mouse's house and he's very hungry, you don't want to make him hangry. So make sure that it's open up so the mouse can get through. Right under here. Don't close it up. Now we can get through, right? There. Perfect. Awesome. Just a reminder, no weight or hand, because that'll squish the mouse hole too. So relax the wrist and relax your V or your mouse hole, the U, I guess, the U. So the mouse is free to get in. You don't want an angry mouse. I used to live in a house, an old house in Halifax, and there were many, many mice. And they would come and visit me in my room. I didn't really like it. And then I would scoop them up. Mostly my roommate would. And he would put them in the backyard. And then we'd go back inside. And by the time I got up to my room, the mouse was already in my room again. He just ran up through the stairs or something magical. And one time we actually kept him, Mickey the mouse. And then he ran away from the bathtub where we were keeping him. And he ran into my bed. So I have a strange relationship with mice, but I do respect them. Just not in my bed. Please get out of my head and my bed. Okay, but back to this. Okay, so now we're going to figure out how do your fingers go, like land on the fingerboard. So you don't want them to squish down. You always want everything to be relaxed. And yeah, nothing should be strained when you play violin. So your fingers are always curved on the fingerboard on the neck. Right on there. So you don't want them to ever smush down, because when they smush down, there's a possibility that they hit other strings. So if you're trying to play something really fast, or you're just trying to play a double stop and with an open string, you don't want to hit the next string with your finger that you just want on one string. Did that make sense? I'm not sure if it did, but it did it to me. So here's another way to explain that. So we're keeping the hand loose and relaxed. This is what the angle is. And don't forget your mouse hole. Mouse can still get in to get the cheese. These hands are curved at all times, never pressing or flattening. They're always curved. So, one way to practice this, to make sure that you're not pressing down into the other string zones, is to, let's play 3 fingers on the D string. So 3rd finger on the D, and put your bow right in between the highway, and have a down bow with me. Perfect. Now we're going to keep that finger there, but we're going to play the A string, the open A. Oh, I forgot to mention, your 4th finger shouldn't like duck under the fingerboard or the neck, and it shouldn't go straight up in the air like high T. No, just like let it relax and kind of just hover near the other fingers. Because if you're not using it, you don't want to do all this extra work, working it out. Just let it relax. Just, you're on the bench, you're just waiting by. So with that 3rd finger on the D string, now we're just going to play an open A. Yeah, if that open A rings out and it's beautiful, then you're doing it right. Now I'll try it with, I'll try and play an open A, but I'll flatten my 3rd finger on the D. No. See how the 3rd finger is pressing, goes over across the other string? So you just want to keep that rounded, so then the open A is free to vibrate on its own. Alright, great. Okay, we're going to go over one more violin bow technique, just to make everything so smooth. So smooth. So, to make this fluid motion instead of a we're going to make sure that we have the correct bow grip, so we're not doing the claw. We have a relaxed flopsy bunny ear. So when we do a down bow in the highway, keep our car on the highway, we're going to do it with the hair, the magical hair is flat down, as you'd normally think that it would go. Flat like this. But then on the up bow, we're going to tilt it a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. See what I'm doing? So this is a down bow, and then I tilt it so the hair is towards my face and the stick is pointing away from me a little bit. So the bow is on an angle, just a little tiny bit. And then we get to the frog, and then we're just going to do a down bow and kind of go back to where the hair is right below the stick. When we get to the end, our hand is kind of shifting, just doing a little tilt to put the hair towards our face and the stick away. The stick towards the scroll, the pretty scroll at the end. So if you want to do that with me just a few times, it's just the tiniest movement. It's a lot more pronounced when you're up at the frog. This is the frog area again. Because because your hand is right in front of your face and it's a bigger movement. But when it's down here, it still happens. Or right here. It's just not as obvious. So, if you want to play with me right now, we'll start at the frog and go to the tip. And when we get to the tip, we're going to do that, pause for a minute and do that tiny shift. All right, let's go. Oh, I hit another string. Oh well, what can you do? Did it again. That's okay. Alright, it's a very tiny movement, and I know it's like hard to see, but when you get it, someone described it as like a steering wheel. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna go this way now. It's like, oh, so you're going down and then you're turning smoothly. Yeah, it should never be like a rigid thing, so just if you need to shake out your hand, it's a weird position to hold it in for a while, so feel free. And that'll just come naturally, and I don't even think of it. I think I do it most of the time, but... Lovely. Okay. Oh yeah, I just want to say that the pinky finger is the major player in making sure that goes smoothly. So if it's not there, it's going to be... This is the control. This is the balancer. You can just do that a few times in the air. Down, down. Lovely. And if you didn't do your stretching video, just do that. All right. Okay, we're going to talk about the bow and using all of it. When you're starting off, you probably just use the middle section, just a little section, but I want you to get used to using the whole thing. You got it. Might as well use it. Yeah, I love full bows. You can play so many notes in one bow. It depends on the tempo, obviously, but like you don't have to use just that part or just the middle. Use the whole thing. So many notes in one bow. I love how long it is. The longer your arm, the longer the bow. So I got a long bow. So some people put a little sticker or like a dot right there so they can see where they are on the bow. Just be like, where am I? It's a long thing. It's hard to see the whole thing. But you can do that if you want, just to know where you are. But we're gonna get used to playing with the full bow because I just love beautiful, long, lush violin lines. So let's get used to playing long bows from day 1, day 4, let's be honest. So if you want to just play the whole bow on the G string, which is the lowest note, just the open string, you can use your other hand to hold the violin here if you want. We got our flopsy bunny ears. Do a couple windshield wipers. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we're going to play the G string 4 times from the frog all the way to the tip. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? Let's go. Do a little twist and shift. Maybe that was 5. Okay. Now we'll try that on the D string, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, entire bow. So starting from the frog to the tip. And remember to stay in this highway between the bridge and the fingerboard. And when, so many things to think about, I know. But don't worry, you're doing great. Just keep practicing. So when we're doing the down bow, the stick is right above the hair. And then we do the up bow. Tilts slightly so the hair is more towards your face than the stick. And then you get to the top and the stick is over the hair again. Okay? 4 times, full bow. Beautiful. Now we'll try it one more time on the A string. 4 bows, full bow. Play with me. And now the E string, the top string. Same thing, 4 full bows. Make sure that this pinky is still on there secure. And you can move around. All right. Are you playing with me? Good. Beautiful. Okay, I know I was just talking about lush long bows, but right now we're just going to do a little crunchy sound and exercise just to get the feeling of what happens at the bottom and tops of the bow changes. So from when you're at the frog and then you're about to do a down bow to go to the tip, and when you're at the tip to go back to the frog. What is the hand doing? Let's figure it out. Okay, so just on an open string, D again, we're going to keep the arm, put it right at the frog, keep the arm there, keep the wrist there, and the only thing that's going to move is the hand. Not even the hand, just from the knuckles down. So only the fingers attached to the, like the knuckles straightening out and then coming back like the jellyfish in the water. But we're gonna keep it just the hand, just the knuckles, the fingers. I know it doesn't sound good, but we're just learning it. It's crunchy. So just the fingers, so everything is staying, it's all relaxed, but it's not gonna move except for the fingers, just so you get the motion. So just the fingers are moving this. And now if we do it with our little tiny tilt, it gets crazy quickly, so don't worry. And breathe. Okay. All right, so let's, have you done that a few times? You can pause the video and try it a few more times. Okay, now let's incorporate that into the entire bow. So do that same movement when you're at the top and when you're at the bottom. Just, it's the fingers that do the movement. So, and when you're pulling the bow across the string, don't think of it like you have to concentrate and press right into it. So you just start it, and it's pretty much the bow carries your hand and the note. So it does all the work, and gravity does too. So you can still stay relaxed. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to do a down bow. You do it a couple times with me? I'll stay like this. Back to that exercise where it's just our hand moving. So just the fingers move. the knuckles straighten out and retract. Like the muscles are doing little push-ups. Your fingers are doing push-ups. Jellyfish style. Rigid jellyfish? Never heard of a rigid jellyfish. That's because they don't exist, probably. So keep it loose. There we go. All right. So if you're getting like a lot of scratchy sounds in your violin when you're trying to do this, there's a couple of things that it could be. So number one, if your wrist is down too low, like below your bow, that's not good. So make sure that your wrist is light and above and airy. And yeah, that sounds better. So your wrist is always above your bow. It's never below. We want a good posture. Up and open. Open up your heart. Beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to try, let's try to play one string at a time. G, D, A, E, without hitting the other strings. So remember, there's like a slight difference between each note because the bridge is so close. There's only this much, like this amount of space difference. So your bow doesn't have to go too much to the next string, but it has to go enough so it doesn't hit the last string. Like the elevator, you just get off on the next floor to go to the next string. So let's just play a full bow from the frog to the tip on the G, and then we'll take the elevator up to the next string, next string, next string. Okay, ready? Play with me. Starting on the G, so your wrist is high above, not too high, just right, Goldilocks style. Okay, here we go, G string. Elevator up to the next string, to the next string, and the highest string. Now let's play each string all in one bow. So we're gonna play the G, then the D, the A, E, all in a down bow. Down, remember, is when the bow goes towards the floor, down. And an up bow is when it goes towards the ceiling. It goes up, makes sense. So we're gonna go G, D, A, E, all in a down bow, starting at the rabbit frog. Cool. Now we go an up bow and we'll go back. So E, A, D, G. Right from the tip to the frog. Switch, switch, switch. Ah, I switched too late. I ran out of bow. Ran out of bow. All this bow. One more time from the top. D and G. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, I hope you're having fun. Don't forget to practice. There's lots of things to learn, but there's so much fun. There's so many fun things to learn as well. We're gonna try a different bowing. So last week we worked on Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Remember that? That was fun. So there's different variations of that song, like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. One of my favorites was Mississippi Hot Dog, Mississippi Hot Dog. It's the same notes as Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, just extra notes. Instead of dun, 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 like 2 notes for each note, 2 beats for each note. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 1, 2. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just cause. Switch it up. And it's called Mississippi Hot Dog because that's how many syllables are instead of twinkle, twinkle. It's Mississippi Hot Dog. Yeah, that was right. I'm not a mathematician. Okay, here we go. So let's just go back to last week. We did Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That's all we're gonna do right now. So D, D, A, 1, 1 on A, open A. So D is the second lowest string, A is the second highest string, and then the first finger on it Let's play that with the bow. Play with me. D, D, A, 1, 1, A. Sounding pretty good. Sounds good to me. One more time. Got all the things. Mouse hole. You can still get through. All right. So we're gonna do that exact thing with a faster bow. So, and more bows. So the same tempo, but we're gonna have, instead of dun 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 dun, actually we're just gonna do that much. Dun 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 dun. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're gonna double speed it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, sounds crazy. You can do it. I know you can. Okay, let's just go back one more time with the 1, 2, 1, 2 on the open D and A. Here we go. Play with me. 1, 2, 1, 2. Perfect. Now we're gonna do the new way, Mississippi hot dog way. So same notes, just double speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double speed and doubled. So instead of 2, you play 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play with me. There it is. You're already doing remixes and renditions of Twinkle. So the bow is always going to stay on the string, which means it just means that the hair doesn't leave in between. It's not leaving. It's staying on. Perfect. Okay, let's just, if you want to go back and practice the end of Twinkle Twinkle from last week, that'd be cool. Just to keep doing it. Yeah, we're gonna try some different variations on it, so it's good to have it. Okay, so if you want to go back to last week's lesson and just do a refresher on Twinkle Twinkle, feel free. We're gonna do some variations on Twinkle Twinkle. There's so many ways that song can be played, it turns out. Mississippi hot dog being one of them. Have you ever gone to Mississippi? It's beautiful. Can't wait to go back to America someday. I like California, personally, especially in the winter. It's cold in PEI right now. Just daydreaming of palm trees and warm sun. Okay. Well, I hope you're having fun, and don't forget to practice every day, even just a little bit. It really, really, really helps. And maybe just start singing Twinkle Twinkle around your house, so you have it in your head, in your ears, and your heart. And then it'll come out your fingers on the violin easily. All right, well, have fun and experiment on your violin. It's yours to enjoy. So thank you for spending your time with me. And I'll see you next week. Bye.